Yeah, another important week. We're excited to get back to league play, and Dallas has been playing really well lately. I think they got a new style of play. I've watched them against DC. They are playing quite good soccer, to be fair. So I think it'll be a tough challenge going there, and they're in a good way right now. But yeah, we're excited. I think this is kind of a last little stretch of kind of getting guys ready just for games and not training as hard, and then ramp it up for this one, and then after that we'll have a break.
Cole, your thoughts on the game the other day? Fitting that it went to penalties, maybe, and what does it mean to you to get a Champions Cup berth?
Yeah, it means a lot for the club, and I think that was a goal of ours set out. We wanted to be in the final, so obviously that was disappointing that we didn't make that, but I think that was kind of a little prize on top of how we did throughout the tournament. So I think we're stoked about that. It'll be good for the club next year to start in that, because I think the way that it went last time around, although I helped qualify, I wasn't here for it, and I think they got out pretty quickly. So we definitely don't want to make that same mistake this time around. But yeah, it was a tough game. A lot of us are quite dead. So 7 games in like 21 days and traveling for a lot of it didn't help. And I think you see it with a couple guys going down injured. I think we've been quite tired, but I think it was nice. We got these last 2 days to recuperate, and now we got a full week of prep for Dallas, which I think we needed.
What was the vibe kind of like after the game? Chris was saying it was kind of an exhausted kind of feeling.
Yeah, it was. It was. We were all, dead. Like I said, we exhaust ourselves. The staff did a tremendous job preparing us throughout the tournament, but the style that we play demands a lot physically, and I think there was a lot of times where we actually didn't have the ball as much as we'd like to, and we ended up having to defend quite a bit more than we would have liked, and that caused us to probably be a little bit more tired at the end of the tournament. But we got through it, and we have a goalkeeper that once we got to penalties, we knew if we made all of ours, we knew he'd save one, and that happened every single time.
Yeah, Zach, obviously goalkeeper of the tournament, 2 saves at the start. I mean, you guys must have been back at midfield pretty excited seeing, automatically having a 2-goal advantage like that.
Yeah, it's huge for us. I think every time we say it, like I just said, is we score all 5, he'll save 1, we're good. But when he saves the first 2 against their 2 probably best penalty takers, it kind of takes the pressure off you. And we kind of knew at that point, we're like, oh, we're in Champions League, and then we started talking about it at midfield. Just because we knew he'd either save another one or it was in our hands to score a few more. So yeah, it makes it easy on us. I think the one penalty shootout where we didn't maybe feel as in control was America, but we still thought Zach had 1 save in him in the 5, and he did, and that's what got us through. And then we made the rest of ours. So he helped us tremendously, and then we just pick our spot as shooters and try to do our job as well.
Maybe a little unexpected how Maxie keeps stepping up and draining them.
I think it would be to most people, but he actually took penalties in Bromby. So he was the team's penalty taker, and he said he was 5 for 5 back there. So he always asked me and Georgie, he's like, hey, let me take one in a game. But yeah, I think he's a good penalty taker, and especially for him to step up after he missed versus Leon, I believe it was, and drain his next 2, I think was huge. And yeah, if we ever go into a situation like that where it's playoffs or something like that, I think we know that we have a good group of guys that can take penalties.
Maybe a little bit of concern with giving up goals right before halftime last couple of games. Is that just kind of due to the fatigue you've been feeling, or is there something that needs to be better in those moments?
I don't think it's due to fatigue. I think it was guys switching off in moments, key moments where they shouldn't be, and we got to look at that. Yeah, it's not what we'd like to do, but I think for me, I'm more focused on with the ball, because we haven't been keeping it as well, and we haven't been creating as many chances as we normally do in the league. And I think when you have good attack, that leads to good defense. And when you're defending for such long periods, you can switch off and be tired in moments. Obviously, you don't want to switch off, but it sometimes happens. So I think for me, if we control the game a little bit better with the ball, then we won't have as much time to defend, and those moments are few and far between.
Obviously, you have a little more time to rest now, but what's kind of the key to keeping this momentum going into the last stretch of the season and not get complacent with the success you've already had?
Yeah, we all said after that game that we're not done yet. I mean, first off, we didn't want to finish in third. We wanted to win that. But we did the best that we could with the situation we had, and that was to try to qualify for a Champions League spot. So we did that. But now we know it's tight in the league. I think all the teams are caught up in games with us, and before we kind of felt like we had a little bit of a gap in a sense, and now we really don't. Everybody's really tight in there, and I think we play almost every single person like right there, right beneath us. So these will be huge games for us, and I think we got to go into this final stretch to put ourselves in a position to have a home playoff game.
That third midfielder spot is kind of rotated in games, and then Ollie gets the start, so you're starting all 4 of you guys. What was it like? What was your perspective of his game and how he contributed there, getting that getting the start late?
Yeah, we love having all the guys on the field at the same time, and it's tough because personally I don't like winger. I'm not a winger, so I don't enjoy playing it, but I'll do it for the team, and I think it gets a lot of our best guys on the field, and guys that have been performing pretty well. And all these, I've loved playing with him since I grew up. I vouched for him when we wanted to sign him and Robin was asking, and I'll vouch for him to start every single time. And if that means I have to push up a little bit higher and play a different role, then yeah, we'll do it for the team as long as it clicks well for the team. So I was happy with his performance. His goal was sweet. I think it was, yeah, great finish, good technique, but we know he has that. It wasn't really a surprise to us that he could score a goal like that.
Cole, your thoughts on Chris being named to semifinals for the Hall of Fame yesterday?
That's it's good for him. I think he deserves it. He's not only done it as a player, but he's doing it as a coach, and I think he still feels like he's got a lot to prove in the coaching realm. But he's obviously been to Man United, he's been to Leeds, and he led New York Red Bulls to a Supporters Shield, so he's got experience in both. I think if you talk about his playing career, there's not much he didn't do within the game in the U.S. So he obviously did it there, but now he's continuing to do it and share his game with guys like us that want to learn from him and stuff like that. So I think that's the best part about him, and that's why he probably deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.